Slack has over 1,500 apps in our directory, from industry giants like Atlassian, Google, SAP, and Workday, to smaller tools from starting companies like Donut, Guru, Poly, and Troops. But all of these tools often sit in different siloed repositories. Your customer service team might be sitting inside of Zendesk, your sales team in Salesforce, and your engineering team inside of Jira. The power of Slack is that we bring all of those together, making it easier for people to share information across those siloed apps and take action on notifications. That's why 94% of paid Slack customers use apps and integrations every week. Today, I'm going to share some of the dramatic improvements that we've been making in one particular class of apps, productivity tools. Productivity tools are the essential tools that your team uses every day. Email, calendar, calls, and files. Most companies use a set of tools from a variety of different vendors. You might be a Google Suite shop, but also using Dropbox and Zoom. Or maybe you're a Microsoft Outlook shop, but you also use Box and WebEx. The benefit of Slack is that we bring all of them together. We've had apps from many of these for a while, but we're super proud of the fact that just 2 weeks ago, we launched an entire suite of apps for the Office 365 suite. So now I'm proud to say that whatever tool suite you're using, it will integrate with Slack. Each of these tools independently has important context and information, but hunting and picking across web browsers to find that email from a customer, or that file in Dropbox, or the calendar event, or the call-in ID is challenging. It's time-consuming, and it's frustrating. Slack takes all this important information and brings it together in Slack channels, making it much easier to find, share, and discuss the information you need access to. But it's not just about bringing information into Slack. It's about the fact that the information flows both ways, into Slack and back into the tools you use every day. No more cutting and pasting information across web browser tabs. We make it simple for you to receive the information that you need, share it with your team, and act on it no matter where you are. We've made a lot of great strides this year in the roadmap. We want to show you what we've been doing and give you a sneak peek at what's coming next. Let's start with email. We want Slack and email to work hand in hand. We always encourage companies to deploy Slack wall-to-wall across their organizations, because that's when you get the transformative power of Slack. But we know this doesn't happen overnight. It can be really painful when part of your company is on Slack and part isn't, figuring out how to message somebody and where they are. That's why we're developing a bridge that brings email and Slack together. We want to make it easier for you to bring emails into Slack that you need, a proposal from a vendor, a customer complaint. But we also want to reduce the stress of messaging people at your company who aren't in Slack yet by sharing messages from them right in their email inbox and a little bit more. Let's show you what we've been building. Please join me in welcoming Lydia Hahn, a product manager on the team, out to the stage to do a little demo.
Thanks, Brian. Hi, everyone. I'm Lydia Hahn, and I'm a product manager at Slack, working on our platform team. Today, I'll be demoing some of our recent announcements, as well as share some exciting new launches on how we can integrate email better with Slack. To do this, I'll be playing the role of a sales manager at a company called Acme Corp. So first, let's talk about our recently launched Gmail and Outlook add-ons. These email add-ons will allow you to bring important information from email into Slack. So let's switch over to my desktop and show you what that looks like. I have my Office 365 Outlook mail client open. And here, I have a new email from Mark, a customer I've been chatting with. So Mark and I have been going back and forth a couple of times. And it's about time that I loop in my entire sales team to take this relationship to the next level. To do this, though, I would either have to forward this email along, start an unwieldy number of email threads, or I would have to take a screenshot and then share it into Slack, where my sales leads teams are sitting. We recognize this happens to our customers a lot. They have an external partner that they're having a conversation with in email, but their entire team is sitting in Slack. So let me show you how to bring this email into Slack in a simple way. Here in Outlook, I have the Slack for Outlook add-in already installed. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that Slack icon. All I have to do is select the channel that I want to send this information to, in this case, the sales lead channel, add a note, who can pick this up, and yeah, I'm going to include all the attachments over. So just like that, I'm able to send this email directly into Slack. All right, so let's go ahead now and switch over to Slack, open up our sales lead channel, and see what this looks like. Here, I'm in my sales leads channel, and look at that. The email has come through. What's so great, yeah, woo! What's so great about these email add-ons is that it preserves the entire context of the conversation. That means any one of my teammates can go ahead and click in here and see the back and forth conversation to read up on it. They can also open up any attachments that was attached to that email. And look at that. Already my teammates are already responding, and David is going to be our hero today and take on the customer. All right, so that is all live today. And this is what's the powerful about bringing information and working into Slack versus a siloed email inbox. The moment I sent this information into Slack, it became visible to my entire team, and so that everyone can have all the context that they need to be helpful, or just follow along and see who took on the customer. This is all really great if your entire team is in Slack. But what if you're working with a colleague who's not in Slack yet? We recognize that for our customers, not everyone is set up with Slack and using it on day one. So, Brian, let's pretend you're the director of finance at the company Acme Corp, and you haven't signed on to Slack yet.
Sounds good. For the sake of the demo, I'll do just about anything. I'm Brian, director of finance at Acme Corp, and I'm used to my email inbox. I've been there since 1999. It seems to work for me. I skipped the Slack training, and I skipped the second Slack training, but I know I've got an invite, and eventually I'll probably get around to it.
All right, so my sales team has been working diligently to plan out our Q2 budget, and we're preparing for a big budget review meeting that's happening later today. We want to make one small change. It's so tiny, but as a sales manager, it's my job to make sure that I get Brian's eyes on it, since he is the director of finance. So because I can't find him in Slack, since he hasn't joined yet, I have to now open up my email, send him an email, or it's such a quick ask, maybe I should just find his phone number at my desk and just give him a quick call. Well, that's no longer going to be the case anymore. I'm really excited to share that we're starting to roll out a new capability that will create a bridge between email and Slack. What this means is the moment that an admin invites Brian to join Slack, I can now find him in Slack. I can message him, and I can mention him in conversations. So I want to show you what this looks like. Going back into our Slack here, I'm going to go and find Brian. Look at that. He's right here in Slack. That means that an Acme Corp admin has invited Brian, and now I can start having conversations with him. Here, you can see that he's an invited member, and he might be slow to respond because he hasn't signed up for Slack yet, and he's going to be receiving my messages via email. But that's okay. I'm going to ask him, hey, Brian, we're going to need an extra $20K for our budget. Can you let me know if this is okay? So Slack also reminds me here that it might take more time because he hasn't finished registering yet. All right, let's switch on over to Brian's email and see what this looks like.
So look at that. There's a direct message that came in from Lydia. Hi, Brian. We're going to need an extra $20K for our budget. Can you let me know if this increase is okay? With a View in Slack button that I could see it right there. What if I'm not really still ready to view it in Slack, Lydia? What else could we do with this? I'm really not there yet.
Well, Brian, we're working on the capability that will allow you to respond to these Slack messages directly from your email inbox. This feature is going to roll out in the next coming months, but we're so excited that we want to show y'all a quick preview today. So, Brian, why don't you go ahead and respond to that email?
Okay, I'll give it a shot. Nothing like a live demo. Approved. I almost typoed it.
Great. So Brian has just responded to that Slack message from his email. And look at that. in the direct message, Brian has had a conversation with me. Yeah. Awesome. Brian just approved my request, and now I can move on with my day in a matter of seconds. So now I want to let my team know that we're all good to go. My team has been using a channel, the Q2 budget channel, to prepare for our budget meeting later today. So let's go ahead and enter that channel right here. I'm going to let folks know Brian approved our budget request and asked Karen to update the latest PowerPoint presentation so that we're all tidied and squared away. Notice here that I continue at mentioning Brian in the conversation. It's because I'm used to mentioning my colleagues so that they're brought along in this journey. And that's what's so powerful about this bridge between email and Slack. Because now, I, as a Slack user, can continue using Slack in the way that fits me best, so that I can get the best work done. And as for Brian, well, now he can be brought along on these conversations. No more getting day-old news. So let's switch back over to Brian's email and see what this looks like.
So I've gotten another message from Slack. This time it's talking about a Q2 budget channel in the workspace, and Lydia's mentioning me and the budget request getting approved, but also Karen and asking her to update a deck. Okay, you got me. Now I'm actually going to pay attention to the Slack thing, and I'm going to hop over and give it a shot. My admin has already pre-provisioned me with an account, so I can actually add a password, create the account. I can actually skip adding additional teammates for now, and it's going to open up and actually land me inside of Slack. One of the big benefits to this is not only am I being landed inside of Slack, but it's actually landing me into a context that I'm familiar with. All of the archive of conversations that I've had with Lydia are right there in the conversation pane, and I'm already added to the Q2 budget channel. So right there, I've got access to Karen's deck that she's already shared in. I'm in Slack, and I'm super comfortable. Thanks, Lydia. That was great. So email is one of the core work tools, but the other ones that teams use every day are calendars, calls, and files. If you think about files, almost every company that I actually talk with uses more than one somewhere in their organization. Your designers might be using Dropbox Paper, while most of your organization's in Google Drive, or you might be a Microsoft OneDrive shop that also has Box attached. Finding files across multiple repositories is really hard, and sharing them can also be a challenge. Slack makes it easy. We make it easy to share and discover files on Slack. It doesn't matter if you have one file provider or many. Slack flexes to meet your needs of how your company works, not the other way around. We're going to take the same approach from a calendar and calls perspective. People use a variety of different options. And if you think about setting up a meeting, you might need to integrate a calendar reminder, the files that you need to use, and a separate video conferencing solution. Google, Microsoft, Zoom, Cisco, BlueJeans, you name it, you get the idea. So, Lydia, why don't you show us what we could do with all of that today?
Sure. So in the previous demo, I told you that we were preparing for a big budget review meeting that was coming up later. Well, that meeting now is just a matter of minutes away. So let's hop on over back to the Q2 budget channel here in Slack. All right, so in Slack, it seems like Karen has already done her due diligence and updated the PowerPoint presentation. What I want to do now is actually preview this document really quickly and make sure everything is good. See, in the past, I would have had to download this file locally on my desktop and then open it up just to look at it. Well, thanks to a few recent launches, now I can preview Microsoft Office files directly in Slack. This will work for Microsoft Word documents, PowerPoint presentations, and Excel files. So let's take a look at what that looks like. Here, I'm going to just simply click the file, and look at that. All of a sudden, I'm able to see every single slide of this presentation, confirm that everything looks good, and give Karen a check mark. This looks great. Awesome. So I just showed you how you can preview files to prepare for a meeting. Let's now talk about calls and calendar. If you didn't notice yet, there's a little red light here on the sidebar. This is from our Outlook Calendar app that we launched recently. This is a new app for Slack, and it's been helping me get to my meetings on time. It was really easy to set up. All I had to do was connect my Outlook calendar to Slack by going through a simple authentication flow. And all of a sudden, I was getting the most important event updates and reminders right in Slack. So let's go ahead and click on it. It looks like that budget review meeting is happening in 1 minute. So I should probably get going soon. And where's the room? Right here, conference room A. But what happens if I'm not in the office today? As a sales manager, I'm often traveling and meeting with customers. So today, I'm off-site. Well, that's no problem. I can join remotely by clicking on the Join Zoom Meeting button right here. This little button is small but mighty. Think about all the times you were going through a calendar invitation and scrolling through that wall of text just to find that one URL or that one meeting ID to memorize and then punch in. Well, now you just need to click the button. And the great part is, this works on both desktop and on mobile. So as you're walking from meeting to meeting, or as you're commuting into work, you can receive these event reminders directly on your phone, click on the button, and land straight into the calling provider of your choice, whether that be Zoom, WebEx, Skype, and a growing list of others. And if that wasn't enough for you, now my Slack status will update to in a meeting so that my colleagues know I'm in a meeting and that I'll be slow to respond. This is all live today in the Outlook Calendar app and coming soon for the Google Calendar app. No more updating your status in multiple places. So woo! I hear whoops, and I'm just going to keep it going. All right, so I just showed you how we can bring together files, calls, and calendar to help you be prepared for your meetings. And that way, you and your teammates can always have the most important and up-to-date information right at your fingertips. Well, that's all for me today. I got to head off to a meeting, so back to you, Brian.
Thanks, Lydia. That was really wonderful. Thank you. You know, it's really a lot of those small touches. It's the calendar syncing. It's the fact that on mobile you can preview a file. It's the fact that we give you a link to cut into your video conferencing app that makes your life simpler. If you want to get started with all that today, you can. Slack.com/apps. Our app directory actually has the email add-ins. It actually has the calendar, calls, and files apps as well that you can install directly. But that's not all, because that's never all. We continue to invest. We continue to actually push more new releases, more improvements to the functionality. Here's a first look at one thing. Sometimes all you need to do is find time to chat. What if you could do that right from Slack? In the future, you'll be able to do just that with smart event creation. Here we're in a direct message between Mara and Jessica. They're on the go, talking back and forth, and realize they need to meet later today to discuss things face to face. Using natural language processing, Slack actually figures this out. Let's see what happens when we push today. It actually looks at both of their calendars, Outlook or Google, and to see when they might both be available. Checks on that, picks a time, and makes a suggestion. Once you actually accept that suggestion and create it, it actually pushes that information back into the direct message they're in as well. So not only have you actually taken 15 steps out of that process, you made them both aware of the fact that it's there and it's set up and they're done and can get back to more productive work. Beyond smart event creation, we're going to continue to make it easier for you to find all the information you need. Sticking with the theme of meetings, think about the fact that you need the start time and the location, the agenda, the presentation you're supposed to review, and the dial-in information, typically strung out in a bunch of different places or maybe from a couple of different apps. We want to make this all come together seamlessly in Slack to make it much richer and more available to you. A lot more to come. Our team is super proud about the pace of innovation that we're bringing to you to help all of you be more productive and do your best work.